Howdy everyone, I hope you're doing well. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded a video. It's still going to be kind of iffy on if I'll be uploading regularly soon or not. I'm in the middle of taking care of two houses right now, but I wanted to focus on an issue that's really annoying right now, and I'm sure a lot of people are very frustrated with, and I don't know if Gaijin knows what the exact issue is, but I haven't seen anyone else bring it up, so I'm going to demonstrate what the issue is here, and maybe someone can fix it. Probably, if you already know, the ATGMs suck. Now, I don't know if this affects all ATGMs, but all the ATGMs I have used have had this issue. So, I will show you real quick. Alright, we got the Bradley out. So now we're going to test this ATGM out. These are the new ATGM physics. So this is what it looks like if you're just shooting at a stationary target. Not a big deal. And just so we can look at the flight path of the tow missile a bit better, while we are moving our cursor, because this is where you're going to see the issue. You're not going to see it here in the test drive, because for some reason it does not show up in test drive. This issue is not replicatable in test drive. So we're going to fire the missile, and I'm going to slowly move my gun sight. You can kind of see that the ATGM is following it perfectly. It's not having any issues whatsoever. So now we're going to go into an actual match, or we'll go into a custom battle. Okay, so we're in a custom battle, and we're going to try out these missiles and see what happens now. So I messed with the settings. I can now move the cursor very slowly to the left and to the right. You'll be able to see where this oscillating comes into play. Fire the missile, we're going to let it stabilize, and then we're going to start moving it very slowly to the left. You can see here in a live server, the missile's oscillating to the left and the right because of this issue that I mentioned earlier. Fire missile again, and you'll see exactly what's happening. So, I'm going to move left and right. You can see the missile is not moving. It's not following the cursor. But once I exceed this certain threshold, it's like server-side, it's like, okay, now move the missile over to the left. But it's not doing it smoothly. It's moving it over in increments. Not in such minute and precise movements that it should be, but in very large ones relative to the precision of aiming people need for hitting tanks fighting about 3 kilometers away. So you can see here the missile's not moving. It's not moving at all. Not following the curve. Okay, until you go past a certain threshold. It's like almost there's a certain degree that your turret must turn in order for the missile to have any sort of movement. And this makes getting precise hits very difficult. Here it is again, button test drive. So we're going to fire the missile, and we're going to move left and right. The missile is stabilized. I'm going to move very slowly to the left, and you can see the missile is not oscillating. It is following the cursor perfectly. It's oscillating a little bit, but it's not anywhere near what it was in the server. So here again, I'll fire another missile, and I will just move very slowly to the left and to the right, and you'll see the missile's perfectly following the cursor. If I move it too fast, obviously it'll oscillate, but if I move it to the left, oh, it stays right with the cursor. Minute movements, the missile moves. Whereas when you're in a live server, it doesn't do that. What? Hey, what is going on with these ATGMs?
So, I would expect most missile systems in this game to be somewhat different.
Yeah, the toes are really sluggish when they hit.
You got a Huey up.
Okay, it's not even just that they're sluggish. I don't know if I can show this on stream. I'll probably have to. I'll try to demonstrate it right now. Okay, here, I'll fire at this, right? So I'm gonna fire my gun, or my missile. Alright, missile's going straight, right? I'm gonna move a little bit to the left. The missile's not moving, but then it moves really far to the right. I mean, left. Like, I can't get the missile to just move a little bit to the left. It like, only moves after I've moved it significantly, not just a little bit. And I don't know if that's because I'm in VR, or that's just the new missile guidance, but it makes... I couldn't hit the Gepard, like, it wouldn't go to the center of the Gepard. Like, see, look at this. The missile doesn't move unless I move it, like, almost a whole tank over. Well, not a whole tank, but I'll say a whole, like, half of a tank over. So if you're still confused, here I have a little illustration. By little, I mean a 10,000 by 10,000 pixel image I opened up in. Okay, so this black dot here, this is our tank. And this green circle right here represents our entire field of view. This is every possible direction we could aim, right? And then I have here a red square. Now this red square is going to represent an enemy tank that we want to shoot. And then you'll probably see that there's these orange lines going from top to bottom. Now this is the issue. This is the issue in game that has just now come up in this current update. Didn't exist before, or at least if it did, it was so much better. It was not this bad. So, these orange lines are the line of fire we have when we are in a game. So, you don't see a big deal here. We go back to the middle dot, and if we're really up close, you know, we'll, God, probably should have marked this. Hold on, let me make some marking points. Okay, so I use this very high-tech app to add some distance lines, so you can see remember, the green circle represents every possible angle in which we could point our ATGM. And then the red line is the angles that are only aimable in servers. So what I mean by this is, let's say we're aiming this direction, right? Well, we can't necessarily aim in between this direction and this direction. Like if we try to move the cursor over, like we'll move the cursor over, but the missile is going to stay in line with this line right here. But it's not until we get our cursor all the way over here will the point of aiming be shifted from over here to over here. And that's why you see that missile jump all of a sudden. It makes that big leap over there. And you don't really see this as a problem up close, because let's just hypothetically say this is a tank, right? Well, if you're aiming at a tank, and you're pointing at a tank, well, you're going to have like a couple of these lines intersect that tank, at 1,000 meters. Roughly, you're going to have like a couple points where, okay, you can aim at the tank's middle. If you move over to the left, the missile will then, it'll jump over here and maybe hit the rear, or it'll jump to the right if you aim to the right and it'll hit the driver or something. So at 1,000 meters, it's not too big of a deal. And at 2,000 meters, you're getting to the point of, okay, so now you get to aim at the front or the back of the tank, and you can't really aim anywhere in between that. And, the further and further out you go, the more of a problem this becomes. Because now, you can't even aim at the tank. You can either aim to the left of the tank or to the right of it, and you can't actually get the missile to actually hit it. And for aircraft flying, thousands and thousands of meters away, you can see how this is a problem. Now, I actually I don't actually own any top-tier anti-air, or any SACLOS anti-air. The only missile AA I have is the Type 93, so you can I can't show you this, unfortunately. I'm sure someone can, but that is why this is an issue, because these red lines, they represent the paths or the angles that your missile will track in a battle. Whereas the green, this whole green circle, like, you can precisely aim in any direction you want. There's no limit. But when you're in a server, there's only so many ticks, so many angles that you can aim your gun. And because of the, new missile physics and stuff, and they're a lot slower and they've got more inertia, it's very difficult for them to make these accurate, it's very difficult for them to not oscillate a lot as they jump in between these very large, in comparison to the distance, to the precision you need to aim at these things. They're going to be making large oscillations, and you're not going to be able to hit anything because most of the time you can't even get the missile to fly straight at the target. So, that is the problem in a nutshell.